What's up, Rebels fans? It's Andi Guttierez, back at it again from Lucasfilm headquarters. This week, Hondo and Az Morgan returned with a new scheme, and now I'm here to take you behind the scenes. So grab your favorite Ugnaught and hold on tight. Rebels Recon starts right now. Hondo and Az Morgan convinced the rebels to board an abandoned Imperial freighter above Wynkahthu in exchange for a cache of proton bombs.
So what's in it for you two?
Well, there is also some cargo you would not be interested in.
Once on board, the crew learns that this is not the first time Hondo has attempted to board the ship.
So you brought us in only after you'd lost your entire crew trying it yourself.
But while unloading the loot, the crew awakens dormant Imperial sentry droids and must escape the ship without their treasures in order to survive.
Okay, we got him! Cut the line!
This week, we saw two of our favorite pirates make their return to Rebels. I sat down with cast and crew to talk about Hondo and Az Morgan, Ezra's relationship with Hondo, how the sentry droids were inspired by the Dark Forces video game, and so much more. Check it out. Hondo and Az Morgan return.
Yes.
What is it like creating these more offbeat episodes with these fun characters?
Oh my goodness, they are a blast to work with. You can take their characters and drop them in any situation and basically just let them go. You know, let them do their thing.
I mean, the opportunity to put Jim Cummings and James Hong in the same story and have them bounce off each other is just irresistible. You gotta figure these guys, their relationships probably change on a daily, if not hourly basis.
In Star Wars, there's room for stories of all kinds. Besides just the deep mythological stories of good and evil, I think the colorful characters really kind of work well in a story like this.
After all these adventures with Hondo, what do you think Ezra's real opinion of the pirate is?
I think he loves him. Hondo and Ezra have a special bond because the kid that he was on Lothal is still part of him, and he was a little street rat kid who stole things from people and wanted to instigate and stir up trouble, and that's exactly what Hondo is. He hasn't lost that youthful spirit to him and that like cavalier attitude. What they see as like parameters or what's appropriate is a lot broader than most people, so I think that's a fun place for them to both live in.
The gag with the hole in the door is one of my favorite jokes this entire season. Whose idea was that?
This was not even in the script. Zeb has been put in control of this mission, and he sends Chopper to the bridge to turn the power on so they can get inside. I'm like, but Ezra's right there and he's got a lightsaber. Why isn't Ezra just go, I'm not waiting, I'm gonna cut a hole in the door. And then when we get to Act 3 and the sentry droids are coming down the hallway, we originally had in the script that the door was sealed shut, and then the droids ended up having to blast through it. But if the door is still shut, there's a big hole in it. It's just a really funny moment.
You think when you're dealing with a CG show, you think it's completely, imaginary, but there is a reality to it because you have the assets and you're modifying them for the purposes of the show. And the hole was cut in the door for the story needs, and it just naturally informed the gag that came afterwards.
The Imperial security droids look a lot like they were inspired by the Dark Troopers seen in the Dark Forces video game. Was this actually one of the inspirations? Or?
It absolutely was. In the script, the droids that were on board that got activated were actually probe droids, and it made sense that the Empire would use Imperial probe droids as guards on the ship. But then while we were making it, we went, but that's really boring. We've seen them and we know what they do. So just being a big fan of Dark Forces and knowing that the plot called for Imperial scary monster robots, it made sense at least to pitch.
We've seen that Hondo actually has a bit of a heart, but does Az Morgan have any redeemable traits about him?
I don't know. You want to keep these guys contrasting as much as possible. Az Morgan is not completely wicked, but you do want to keep him repulsive.
This story really is about the idea that Ezra always wants to think the best about people that he's encountered and to see good things in them. This is kind of one of the great things about him, and it's a weakness sometimes because he will trust in people he shouldn't.
Hey Chopper, how are you? I'm packing up to go home. It's Thanksgiving, I'm gonna go be with my family. Chopper, no. For some reason you're British this season. British people don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so you can't come with me. Canada had Thanksgiving last month though, if it helps.
You know what I'm thankful for? Pablo Hidalgo. Not because he's an incredible human being, but because without him, I wouldn't have a reason to have this cool microphone with a Rebels Recon logo on it. So let's put it to good use, shall we? Hey, Pablo.
Andy, how are you doing this?
Internet magic. Too Many Snipers asks, if Mart's father is Sato's brother, then why is Mart's surname Matten and not Sato?
Oh, that one's easy. The thing about that is Mart Matten is using his mom's last name, not his dad's.
Thanks. Have more questions about the Wynkahthu Job or anything else you want answered about Star Wars Rebels? Tweet it to @StarWars using the hashtag #RebelsRecon and we'll answer what we can online. Now it's time for a quick look at our next episode of Star Wars Rebels, An Inside Man.
Look out! Blockade!
Sure is good to have you back on Lothal.
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. In the meantime, check out the episode guide for the Wynkahthu Job on StarWars.com on Monday, and if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and download the Star Wars app. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.